Chapter 1. Blood. Every blessing brings the possibility of loss, and my thoughts that hot August morning in 1977 were of what had been taken from me. Sorrow and regret ran through my mind like the words of a song whose melancholy melody was familiar and calming. Sadness enveloped and protected me, shielded me from the whims of fate, comforted me. Jenny could think what she wanted. My strategy was working for me. My son Josh and I loaded a bale of alfalfa into the bucket of the orange Kubota tractor from the stack near the barn. The hay was still wet from the morning dew, and it smelled of green tea. He drove the tractor, and I walked uphill beside him. Halfway to the horses' stalls, he stopped and turned off the motor. A line of baby quail followed their parents, first pecking at seeds, then scurrying to hide in a pile of branches we had left for them in the fall. Their call felt like home to me. We watched for a couple of moments, then Josh started the tractor again and drove up to the horses. We broke pistachio-colored flakes of hay off the bale and tossed them into the feed troughs in the front of the horse paddocks. I took off my hat and wiped beads of sweat off my forehead and upper lip with my shirt sleeve. The first rays of light had just reached the area where we worked, but already the sun flared like a fire burning between the steep walls of Zaca Canyon to the east. Most summer evenings in our valley above the Pacific, in the hills east of Carmel, the fog from the ocean filled the far side of the mountains and climbed the ridge. It slithered over the top through the trees in the evening gray, like thick, slow smoke moving down the slopes below. Most evenings, it brought with it a satisfying coolness that continued into the morning. That week, the heat had lingered through the night, building each day and waning only slightly in the darkness. Josh and I drifted among the stalls, taking time to scratch each horse behind the ears or under the jawline, saying its name and touching the softness of its muzzle. Josh and his brother Nate usually fed the horses, but Nate had rolled his ankle playing pickup basketball the day before, so he got to stay in bed. I volunteered to help while he was laid up. I thought that by working together, Josh and I might get back to how we were. It seemed like I couldn't say anything right this past week. On Sunday evening, Josh had gathered Jenny, Nate, and me into the kitchen. "I have something important to tell you all." When we were seated around the table, he stood up, looked at each of us solemnly, and said, "Mom, Dad, Nate, I've been thinking a lot lately, and I'm pretty sure that I'm more attracted to men than women." Then he looked at us to gauge our reactions. I thought I responded well. "What makes you think that?" He didn't agree. "I just said it's what I feel. Are you saying that maybe I'm not?" No, I'm not saying that." I thought for a moment. "I'm actually not that surprised. I've known you for a long time, after all." Nate punched him and said, "No, man, me neither. You can't talk to girls, and I saw you looking at the lifeguard at the pool last time we went swimming. I thought you were trying to figure out how much more weights you would have to lift to look like him." Then I stuck my foot in it. "But have you thought about it? It would make a lot of things harder in your life." Like I thought it was something he could just decide not to be. Of course, I had just said I sort of knew from when he was a kid, so I knew it wasn't, but that didn't stop stupid words from coming out of my mouth. Josh's face got red. "Dad, you're such a caveman. You should just quit talking." That was how the rest of the week went. I couldn't say anything right. The truth was, it was taking me a bit to get used to. I had imagined him getting married and having kids, and Jenny and me taking care of the grandkids. All those futures had to be reframed in my mind. I was okay with the whole idea in general, but I found that when it applied to my son and my daughter-in-law and grandkids, who I had to erase from my vision of the future, it took a while. He had no patience for that. He expected me to be all in from the first moment he told me. I kept trying to say something supportive as I worked through my feelings, and he kept getting mad at me. He didn't understand that though he had been considering the possibilities for a long time, I had just heard of them. As I said, I sort of knew since he was a kid, but that didn't stop me from having pictures in my mind of what would come, and those pictures had to be adjusted. He was already speeding toward his future, and every time I tried to jump on board from a standing start, I just got run over.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.